Hey there, my name is Lisa Nickel, and welcome to the Sacred and Rooted podcast. On this podcast, we explore a wide range of topics from how to deepen your connection with the divine to how to make your day to day life feel more meaningful and joyful. Through mindset, spirituality, cyclical living, and my personal favorite, meditation, my wish for you is that you live a life you are excited about on a soul level, where you feel grounded, divinely powerful, and most of all, free to be authentically you. I hope you enjoy the show. The music for my podcast is created by my beautiful sister, Sarah Russell. Her contact info is in the show notes. Hello. Is anyone out there? I'm back. Um, wow, I'm back. It's been a while. I just wanted this episode to be basically a life update, I think, because there was such a kind of a big gap there. Um, but I'm back like I've never been back. So this is sort of the start of, I think, something big, which is exciting. But also just what the heck's been going on. Hope you're well. Hope you're hanging in there if you're in a darker phase of life. But otherwise, I think maybe we're all a little bit in a darker phase of life just with all the exterior, yeah, the world's goings ons. It's an interesting time. But I think it's really a time that we need to all be called to show up in like all of ways we possibly can, but resourced. And so this is part of, I think, where I'm going with this podcast and with my online business in the future. It certainly is where I'm going with it. So yeah, I have not posted a podcast episode since June, which seems like a lifetime, a couple lifetimes ago, maybe even. I don't know what you've been up to. Send me a message if you want to let me know, because it has been a time um, of great closure and great uh, new beginnings or seeding of new beginnings. In June, my twin girls graduated high school, and that was quite a milestone. I don't think I had a dry eye the whole time the ceremony was going on, and lots in between and before and afters, but it was like mostly just beaming pride for them to get to that place where they were finished high school and they're off a little bit, they're on their own a little bit more than they ever have been. So June, they graduated high school. They're twins, so they graduated at the same time. So that was also um, a little bit of a look back because I do remember how sudden and life altering it was when they arrived, when I birthed them. And so this was a little bit like that, or it was the opposite end of it, where it's like the closing was just so, it's two at the same time. I have a son who's in grade 10 and a stepdaughter who's in grade 9. But they sort of two at the same time just seems like it doubles the impact one way or the other, whatever's happening, right? Um, so so yeah, they were thrilled. They were so happy to graduate, to be finished with high school, to be on to something where they felt, well, just into life where everybody probably feels the same way, where it's you just have a lot more. It's like your life now almost, even though maybe some of us are old enough to know it's not totally that free. But it just feels like you have more autonomy, like you can kind of make some more choices for yourself instead of just, being signed up by the country, by society's expectations that you should finish high school. And you start when you're 3 or 4 or whatever it is, and so you don't really have too much say over the whole thing. So that was fun. They spent the whole summer just like hamming it up with their friends every minute they had and working and that sort of thing. So that was the start of things. And I did have many thoughts about the podcast and thinking, okay, I really should just do, maybe I'll just make quicker episodes, just something. But it just felt like such a portal, like a threshold that I was walking over as well as them, and that it just required a reverence to it. And so I just needed to, quiet down different aspects of my life that I could. And so then unfortunately the podcast was one of them, but yeah, it had to happen. There was a lot going on and I just didn't want to fly through it without really feeling through it as I went. And so I really, yeah, I'm very happy with how it went. As far as even all the ups and downs, just being present, the presence was important to me to just make sure they kind of launched into the world with like somebody that wasn't frazzled and flying in all over the place and just not really engaged in the whole thing. So that was June. We had family come up from out of town. They had lots of different parties. Mostly we weren't invited to those. So that was fine. So I had lots of time in the yard to garden and, work through the changes that were ahead. July, I had booked myself a trip, uh, I don't know, sometime in the spring, like late winter. And it was, can't remember what it's exactly called, but it's with this group of women that I have been studying like anointing with for the last few years. And so some of them, it's with the same company. They put it on. Not all the same. Some of the women I knew from online groups and others I didn't, and most of them I didn't know. And so I went to Glastonbury, England in July for about 10 days, 7 days, something like that. I think it was 10 days total, but the retreat was a week, so 7 days. And that was amazing. Like, and I had done that for myself, knowing that I needed to have like just a complete, like, just for myself, just something that was like a complete marker of the magnitude of the change that was happening through the summer and into the fall, and then also just a refresher. And I should do it more often for less of a magnitudinal thing. Uh, but this is what I did this year just because I knew that I was gonna need to have like just like some time just for me, totally refuel, just to be in a gorgeous setup. And so I knew that these ladies who put it on, I'd been watching, them putting it on for a few years and their advertisements and their, videos and other people saying it was amazing. And so I knew that I wanted to do it. And so this was the year because the girls graduated. So why wouldn't I be treated to, why couldn't I treat myself to a little week of just, I don't know, just a magical amazementness. So I went there in July and it was everything I love. Like there was historical tours. We went on, I don't know, there was 4 or 5 different places we saw. All the historical like monuments and different things all had to do with like there was a spiritual like thread through the whole thing. And so, we went to a temple, or not a temple, but a church that was I think I can't remember the whole story, but Mary Magdalene was there and she had done a lot of service there. And so there was a lot of really intense energy at that building. Uh, we were in Glastonbury, which has the white well and the red well, like it's got little river streams that come through it and they meet. And so there's a white well and a red well, I think is how they call it. And one is in sort of an underground like cavern area, and it was just all lit with candles. And everybody who comes kind of like leaves a little trinket. There was so many neat little mementos from people. And so we spent a couple hours in there and just, it was amazing. And then the red well is in a garden outside just across the street. And they're ley lines. So the energy in that area is like extra potent and you can really feel it. And so the whole experience, and then with these women, I think there was about 25 of us or something like maybe 30, I don't know. Um, but they all have strong spiritual lineages or they've been in the anointing training before. And so there was a lot of um, just acceptance, openness. Like we had conversations that you maybe people don't have when they've only met somebody for a week, but you just feel like an immediate like sisterhood. And so it was really nice to just be in the company of women talking about, concerns women have, talking about the world, talking about lives. And then the people that were running the program or running the retreat, they were just phenomenal at holding the space of like unconditional love and beauty and like everything was just so meticulously laid out and gorgeous and just it was I can't like the words just are not like doing any kind of justice to the whole thing. And we stayed at a place outside of Glastonbury. I think it's about a 10-minute drive in the country. And so we were surrounded by farmers' fields and just lots of wood space. And so the whole scene was also very relaxing, very conducive to just whatever you wanted. You could go on long walks, you could journal, you could lay in your bed and rest because you needed to catch up on sleep for the last 18 years or whatever. You could do whatever you wanted. There was also a yew tree that, I mean, I love trees in general, but the yews are really special just because of their age. And there was one just like a 2-minute walk from where we were staying. So I visited it every day and just sort of sat under it and just had some quiet, like just space to do nothing, more than nothing. Like just no need to rush, no appointments, except for these couple of things that we were organizing where it was like going on a little journey tour to the next place. We went to Avebury, which is like a standing stone, kind of huge monolithic area. And that was amazing. That was so cool. And then we went somewhere else too. Oh yeah, we went to another cave that was I think it's like berms almost like in the ground and there's a cave underneath and that's where like ages and ages ago they used to hold different, ceremonies or rituals. That was sort of before churches kind of thing. And so that was neat to see too. And there was lots of singing, there was lots of just it was so nice. It was just so nice and really different than um anything else like wherever else I hang out with in like real 3D life. It's not it was nice to actually meet some of the people that I had met online all these years and have like an actual real life like see them in real life, experience them in real life and all that. And then meeting new people, seeing who else came. There's people from Canada, so that's always fun when it's an international thing and so yeah, so that was lovely and that sort of really was I think pivotal for me and what I'm going to be doing the next bunch of years because it was just so much of a refresh and a reset and just what's complete now with me maybe with going from 3 kids to 1 kid, even 2 kids. It's like 4 to 2, however you want to count it all up, but it's a lot different. It's a lot less activities. And so what am I going to do with myself? And so that was just a time to kind of like unravel it all, put it all back, see what really was speaking to me as far as what I want to do with my time and what I want to do moving forward and yeah, what means something to me and what doesn't anymore and all that. So that was July. The rest of the summer went by pretty quick. Yeah, I came back. There was work. There was we went on vacation with all the kids, and so that was sort of like the last, hopefully not the last, but before they went off to university, it was the last like time at our camp, which was really nice just to have that time together. And it was, I mean, it's always a beautiful place up there, so it's a love another time to kind of refresh. Um, then they started moving out. Like my one of my daughters is going to university in Quebec, and so they start like a week before the long weekend in September, and so then right after that family kind of vacation for that week with at our camp, yeah, the next weekend we were moving one of them to Quebec and the other one near Toronto. And that was kind of it. And they were, it's as much as they're maybe nervous about it, they were mostly way more excited about it and just thought it was going to be great. I was mostly just, they're sharing rooms, so I really wanted to like just see their roommates, see how that went, what vibe I got from them, just to make sure that it wasn't going to be like a nightmare roommate thing. And they have gorgeous, like their roommates are really nice people, so it that worked out great. And it has since, like they've become really good friends with each other, each roommate they have, and that's been a really nice addition to the experience. So yeah, I left each one kind of like, oh my goodness, okay. And then, it's really, really different to not know exactly where your kids are at night when you go to bed. I found that was the weirdest thing. Um, because even when they were in grade 12, like they'd come back late and, they were out at somebody's place or a party or something. But they would always be back, and so and I have to say, like, I never slept, like, overly well until they kind of I'd always hear them come in, and I'd be like, "Okay, now I can really dive into sleep," or whatever. But once they were in university, like, literally, I wasn't e I don't even know, are they in their bed now or where And so that was weird, and, thank God for text because that just makes everything a little more quick as far as just checking in on them, and we've been doing voice messages a lot more than we ever used to when they were here. Because just hearing their voice in real life is nice. It's nicer to me than just, like, reading text all the time, and so we try to do that, most of the time, not all the time, but, like, it's nice, and then we do, like, a call once in a while too, and it's good, it's worked out, and I've sort of gotten used to that a bit more because it doesn't keep me up at night the same way it did the first few weeks where I was like, "Oh god, how am I gonna know?" Because I think I shouldn't say I stopped watching Dateline, but I was considering it because it just brings up all the, like, "This could happen or that could happen," and I'm like, "This is not healthy for me." So, anyways, it's okay, I've kind of adjusted to it now. But it was definitely a major adjustment. And I think I probably blew through, I don't know, like I had things that I hadn't done in months, years, whatever. And I was finally like the fall, I was really getting through stuff, like, because I did have some free time to just, send a friend a note, send somebody else something they had asked for like months and months ago that I had never actually gotten around to looking for. Um, got the car all like fixed up and maintained or whatever with the maintenance appointments. And actually, my car got broken into as well. And so that was like a whole couple weeks of just drama that I didn't really need, but it got sorted out. And so there was a whole bunch of stuff. The fall went by really quickly, but also it felt spacious. It felt slower. It felt deeper. It felt actually really nice on my nervous system because grade 12, I have to say, 2 and grade 12 at the same time. It was a friggin' full year of just ever activities all over the place. And then with Ben too, like it was a lot. Like I don't think I would have been able to do like another grade 12 year right after. Like if Ben was just like the next year, in grade 11, they were in grade 12, I would have been like, okay, I don't think I can do this in another one right away. Anyways, but yeah, so there was a lot going on, but like it wasn't really a lot. Like, I mean, I have been working at like a high efficiency level or like productivity level for too long, probably for my own good. So it was very relieving to just, you know, just not have a thousand things to do after work, not have people to drive every single place. Because also at the same time, my son, in September, he stopped playing hockey because he had moved into the highest level for recreational hockey, and a bunch of his friends weren't going to play anymore. And, so he kind of thought, like, yeah, it's okay. Like, I think I'll do something else. So we got into golf more and we have been golfing. So we golfed the pants out of the season as far as golfing to the last weekend or whatever it was. And that was cool. It was fun. And now that it's winter, we even went and found simulators that are around town that we can like, you know, try out once a week or every couple weeks to keep our swings, on the way they should be and maybe even improve. I don't know if that's possible or not, but that kind of thing, yeah, so it's sort of a whole change in activities, the pace of things, and also what are we even doing? And golf was never a thing to do in the fall, and there we are doing it in the fall. So you never know what life holds for you, and just go with it. And it's great to get like, I don't know. I like golf. I mean, my golf game isn't like amazing, but it's coming along like no problem. But I really like the like company of it, like whoever you're golfing with, to just catch up with them and have some laughs and have some trials and tribulations depending on what hole you're on and how you're doing. And just yeah, hanging out. It's a good thing too for, I mean, my son who's in high school, like just to hang out with them, and it's something we both like that he likes way more than I like, but so it's something we can both do together and like share time with, and I really do like that a lot. Um yeah, so that was sort of like into the fall and just really like way less driving around, my God. Um, so that has been lovely. And then well, in the fall I did visit them each one I visited once, and then I don't know about this winter. We'll see how it goes. Because they do have the fall, like the spring break or whatever, so I think they're coming back for that. So then then I won't have to go out and do that. But yeah, so it's been a fall of like catching up on things that I haven't done in ages, and then also kind of starting to feel for what is coming through and what wants to come through me as I have more time, as now I can kind of like put myself as the priority where maybe I definitely wasn't um the number one priority before. So it's been interesting, and I've just thought numerous times like, okay, now I can get back on the podcast, now I can get back on this. And then it was like, no, no, not yet, not yet. And so I've really been leading my life with my intuition now way more than I have ever been. And I would have told you like 6 months ago that of course I do. Um, but there was so much going on that was other people's things, that I just needed to help them do or needed to do with them, because like when you have kids, that's how that goes sometimes. And so now it's like, okay, well, if I have time, what would I like to contribute? What would I like to do? What would I like to what is coming through? And so I've just been slowing my roll, let's say, and really trusting the timing of things, and not well, definitely the fall made it evident that I was really kind of completely finished with just pushing, 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 and like moving ahead, moving ahead. Um, and so I'm just listening to the timing a bit more, listening to my intuition. When I know the feeling, I do know the feeling of, okay, now like the timing's right, the mood is right, the like whatever. I've learned enough things. This is how it's going. And that is what is leading me now. And it's been really, really, really magical. It's been a little bit amazing as far as the pace. I guess it's not the pace, it's like the efficiency of what I'm beginning now feels so much better than it used to. Because before I used to kind of like, I should do this, I should do that, I should know this, I should know that. And there was a lot of shoulds going on. And now I feel like I've reached a threshold that it's like I know a lot. I know a lot. I feel a lot. I know a lot. I've been around a lot, pretty long. That's the other thing. My birthday's coming up, so I felt like that was a good milestone to kind of be like, okay, and we're on again. And to open myself up this year to what I really do want to do with this business um, now that I've had enough time away from it to really get clear on what is the driving force behind it and what the intent behind it is and where and like everything else can just kind of fall away because I'm kind of getting too old for that shit. And so it's exciting because it does feel like the more that kind of falls away and the quieter I get so I can hear myself even like my soul, my guidance, even more clearly, the the more it's like the preparedness meets the timing. That combination seems to hit more accurately than it ever used to. And it's cool. It's so cool. And it's amazing. And I'm also letting my inner wisdom guide me and in a way that I've never let go of quite that far before. And so the magic that comes back around, it's like the amount of effort I have to put into something is so much less now because it's like a bone, it's like a bullseye, you know what I mean? And so that is part of what I want to express, I guess, in the future as well, is just like as if I already knew that, there's way, you know, the way to kind of run your life is not from external demands and requirements and things. But of course, we are in this life, and so we get pulled in, in all the directions. And but now that I have much less of that because the girls are gone to school, so two of them have there's like nothing coming from what used to be two other people in the house saying like I need this, I need to do that, can you help me with this, whatever. And so it's just, yeah, there's an opportunity there to really, really deepen and become a little more wise at, I guess, what I spend my time with, and to make sure that I am still spending time on things that are important to me, but that it's like presence is there, and the presence is what makes the magic happen. I can't quite fully explain it yet, but it's brilliant. So yeah, I've been in experimenting with that. And sometimes I'm like, geez, I'll get an intuitive hit and I'm just like, yeah, no, like I'm just gonna do this instead. And then it's like, no, 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 I said I was gonna just go with these and see where they went. And so, I'll be like, okay, fine, whatever. And it can be something big, like somebody, wants to collaborate with me. It could be something small where it's just um, like the other day, I took out, what did I do? I went to the bank to get my son some money for something that he needed for school. I took out like double the amount of money, and I was like, "What? Why? I don't need to do that." But I did it anyway. And then later in the afternoon, it was like the exact amount of money that I needed for something else that I did want to spend it on. It was just I didn't realize that it was going to come up like that day. And so it was like, oh, this is very convenient. I already have it. Here we go. And then it was settled. And so it's from far and wide. There's no like size of importance or anything. It just all seems to work a little more smoothly. Wow. And so yeah, that's what I've been up to. And then I have yeah, my 47th birthday coming up on the 20th. So I figured I'm recording this a couple days before that. There's a new moon today. That does feel it feels to me like this is one of those years that I don't think I've ever felt a birthday year like this one. As far as the energy that seems to be coming towards me, it's like an immense. feeling of expansion and just um, growth. And I don't even know. Like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll have to listen back to this after the year's over and then see how it went. But it's kind of exhilarating, and so I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I just think it's this time in the world, this time in my life is just, it's kind of all conducive to really being present with people that I love, with groups, really kind of encouraging people to step into like the presence, I think, is the key, where it's just like really facilitating the presence that people can bring to their lives, and to ensure that people in their lives are trying to glean, are working towards um like a deep feeling of satisfaction, a deep feeling of meaning, so that the more people we have like that in the world, the easier it's going to be to solve some of these really complicated, nuanced problems, but that we can't solve from the level of hurt, angry, well, maybe anger. Anger is useful, very useful as far as directing energy goes. If you can use it to put your, something productive out there, but just like to really get to the crux of something and then really see like what would a compassionate, caring group of humans do with whatever the problem, XYZ problem. And to really start activating ourselves to go out there, to like the amount of um like what do you call it, demonstrating in the streets, the amount of, I love that. It's like it's so good to see people really like fed up with the way things have been, and then the question, I guess, is what are we creating, what do we want to create, what is the new dream? um and so to really, and that doesn't happen, I feel like it happens first inside each person, and then it grows from there. And so if we as individuals take that on as our like societal responsibility, as far as like do you what is your new dream, what are you building in your life, in your family, and in your community, um and then it will expand from there, and will change the world uh that way. More bombs and more just erratic, like careless, incompassionate solutions are not going to be it. So I'll leave you there, because I do have a carrot cake cooking in the oven, and I think it's probably almost done. But also, I think that's the summary. For my current life update, I have a birthday in a couple days, and I'm just looking forward to like getting into the dance of life, and really feeling like I have some things to offer. I have some things I want to put out in the world. I want to engage more deeply with people and just really contribute to, yeah, a better world, a better sense of humanity, and just also on an individual level, just like a happier life for each person. Because this life isn't meant to be all hard knocks and no fun, or and that kind of thing. Even though we are living through a time where we are going to be constantly challenged, I think, with what do we want to keep? What do we not want to keep? Where are we going? What do we stand for? What don't we stand for? And how to come together as a human kind, right? Like we're so small in the entire universe, this little planet Earth, and so it's hilarious in a way. The biggest irony of all ironies is probably if we all took, not that I endorse Elon Musk, but or whoever was doing, was it Elon Musk or the other guy that was doing the spaceship stuff? It was Elon Musk. And just like, yeah, that perspective I think would really take off the edge a bit, as far as, all the little fights. And they're not little, because the people, like when you're really affected by something, it's huge in your life. But But it's like, just like, can we just knock it off with some of the things that we're fighting about? Um, and so, yeah, to really, and I think it does start with it inside, the outside will fall into place. I can't remember who said that, but it's totally true. And so, if we can take responsibility for our own lives in maybe ways we haven't ever, um, and or we haven't ever had time to. And so, I totally feel for the people that have a bunch of young kids. You guys are probably not the ones that need to be out there doing all the hard work, because parenting is hard work enough as it is. But when now that I feel like I'm kind of like phasing out of that phase of my life, it's like, okay, now I'm on. It's my turn to go out and like get some shit done, and not be so insular, but just because, the kids need to be parented, and they need to, that is part of changing the world, is to ensure your kids are well-adjusted adults, right? So here we go. New year, new me, maybe a new version, 2 point whatever. Uh, but yeah, it's going to be exciting. So thanks for listening. And I will be back on regular intervals. And I have, yeah, a lot of things to say. It almost feels like a dam is almost like a dam broke or something, where it's like, okay, here's all the things I want to cover, but I want to make sure that they're well thought out, that they're well expressed, and that sort of thing. So not not just one big blah. So I will see you, I would say weekly. That's my first aim, and we'll see if I ever get back up to twice a week, but we'll do it weekly for now, and we'll see how that goes. But definitely regularly, more regularly than once every 6 months or whatever that was. So yeah, I wish you well. I hope you're having a good day. Enjoy the new moon. Definitely take some time to just journal, meditate, just quietly sit, light a candle, and just kind of what's getting your attention these days, as far as where you're called to spend your time, where you're called to contribute, and what do you need to let go of? Because that's a big thing too. We can't carry everything with us, so some stuff needs to just, you know, with reverence, like, okay, thank you for the time, thank you for the information, thank you for whatever it was that it contributed to your life, but we don't need to carry everything with us for our entire journey. So as much as the new things that are coming in, they need room, and so you need to make the only way to make room is to let go of some other things, unfortunately or fortunately, all just part of the growth process. All right, so I will leave you with that in mind, and I will see you on the next episode. Have a great day. Take care.